Before I ever knew you knew me, you chose me. Before I ever knew my purpose, you molded me. Looking at my past indiscretions, I'm thinking I'm dirty. I'm so dirty. Broken pieces, some are missing. You're saying I'm worthy. I'm still worthy. Focus on my everyday survival. Living my life in captivity. I was not prepared for what came next. My judgment, is this life worth it? Before I ever knew you knew me, you chose me. Before I ever knew my purpose, you molded me. At first I didn't understand why you loved me. I should have been dead, bullets in my head. How many times will I defy you? But you still call my name. You still call me. Creating me a clean heart. Oh yeah. If I deserve it, fix what is broken. Release what I'm holding. 'Cause my life was hopeless, yes it was. But your love's been my focus. It's so perfect. Before I ever knew you knew me, you chose me. Before I ever knew my purpose, you molded me. 'Cause you love me, you shaped me, you molded me. You chose me.
I wanna praise you, Yahweh. I wanna thank you, Yahweh. I'm so grateful, Yahweh. I wanna thank you, Yahweh.
For the promises. Life is a blessing and life is a lesson. Life is a setback and life is progression. Life is uneasy at times, life is comfortable. Life will lift you up and at times life will humble you. Life is a gift, you better thank the Lord for it. Every chance you get, someone is less fortunate. Life goes in circles, life throws you curveballs. Life can be deceiving like preachers in the church halls. Life isn't promised. If I could be honest, the fact that I'm alive, that time has me astonished. 'Cause I came from the underground, being tossed around, being lost and found. Now they adore the sound of the priest, far from a nuance. Verses are proverbs, written's are the new psalms. Another song for the blocks and the avenues. Everything is plain, I don't speak to them in
I wanna
parables.
praise you, Yahweh.
I wanna praise you.
I wanna thank you, Yahweh. I'm so grateful,
I'm so grateful.
Yahweh. I wanna thank you, Yahweh.
For the power I see the world through different eyes. Every Sunday got the preacher telling different lies, hearing things that I really couldn't visualize. Should've listened, Big said you'd be hypnotized. I was a victim too, I say respectfully. They all up in the soup, don't know the recipe. Talking about I'm not who I was bred to be. Count me out, man, who made you the referee? Trying to get stripes, trying to cloud chase. At 19, I made an about face. Thanks to Christ, it's also about grace. And they lied when they said it ain't about race. But that's another song, I ain't the first to tell you. Woke up on a deeper and a surface level. Learned the laws and the laws changed my attitude. And the song is to show you how a gratitude. I'm so grateful.
I wanna praise you, Yahweh. I wanna thank you, Yahweh. I'm so grateful,
We're so
Yahweh. I wanna thank you, Yahweh.
Now let it ride.
I wanna praise you. I wanna thank you.
What is going on? What's going on, Israel? Welcome to another Lines of Israel class on Sundays. It's your brother, Priest Daniel, representing Lines of Israel, Maccabees TV. I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate everybody that's on our YouTube platforms. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channels. Make sure you guys actually hit the notification bell so you guys can be notified every time we go live. And shout out to the Clubhouse family as well. So we're here for another week as we continue to bring Israel very pertinent, very important information that benefits us all, right? These are things that were never taught to us when we were younger, right? Esau is not trying to tell us, but we're bringing forth because we know our people need this information. So today you guys see the title of the class. It's called Cancer, the Elephant in the Room You Cannot Ignore. So over the last couple of days, we saw that we lost a giant in the R&B industry, which was D'Angelo, which kind of is the inspiration for this class. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I did a quick Google search to see what his net worth was. Now, he didn't have a lot of money. Yeah, compared to most of us. His estimated net worth was over $1 million at the time of his death, right? And I would tell you right now, if he would be able to still be alive, he'd have gave that $1 million. If there was a cure offered to him that he could live, he'd have gave that $1 million to live, right? But you brothers and sisters have $1 million worth of information that's being offered to you every Sunday for free. So please take advantage of it as much as you can. With that being said, and without further ado, I'm going to allow Sister Malika to go ahead and bring out the class, and let's run this information out.
Shalom, shalom, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, wherever you're watching from. Shalom. I am going to share my screen. Let me share my screen. Before I share my screen, let me give a shout out to everybody that's watching, everyone that's watching. Shout out to you guys that are watching. Sister Kelly, shout out to you. Brother Will, ROC Camp, shout out to you. Sister Johnny, is that you, girl? Are we gonna have to talk about that name? Brother Rama Jama, shout out to you. And Sister Sandy, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that's watching. It's also on Clubhouse. Shout out to everyone. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am going to share my screen. So just give me a few seconds while I set up my screen here. All right. And also share system audio. Okay, there we go. All right. All right. All righty. Okay, so as hopefully you guys can hear me. I always ask that before I proceed. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Okay, there we go. All right, just want to make sure. So I wanted to make the title of this Sunday health and wellness class the elephant in the room that we cannot ignore. And there's a reason I gave it that title, is because I have a lot of interaction with patients, a lot of people, just people, and also patients, people who've been in and out of the hospital, so on and so forth. And one of the things that I learned from the many people that I've interacted with in the Black community is that the word cancer is like some sort of alien, it's like a fairy tale, some mystical Alice in Wonderland type of situation. It's like the average so-called Black person has no interest in discussing anything relating to the word cancer. It's like, a lot of us, we see it as some strange, mysterious illness that just popped out of nowhere, just popped out of the sky and enter into our body mysteriously. We don't think, I don't know why we think that way. We have no interest in knowing what cancer is, how we get it. We don't care where it comes from, as long as we're not the one who have it, as long as it's not affecting us at the time, we don't really want to discuss it. Whenever I start to discuss cancer with a brother or sister, they immediately lose interest. Immediately. They get bored. They just completely checked out of the conversation. So I hate to break it to you today, but today we are discussing cancer. Hopefully you guys don't check out today. So as Priest Daniela said, RIP to our brother D'Angelo. We're going to discuss today. I'm sure you guys already know how he passed away, but we're going to go into a little bit about how he passed away. That's what we're going to get into. So before I get into that, I want to say, let me say this. Today's health class is not about celebrities, okay? Let me just say that. Celebrity fame and wealth doesn't make them special than anybody else, okay? They have the same health problem that we all have. And as famous as they are, as much money as they have, a lot of them don't take care of their health. A lot of them don't, okay? Oh, and I know I was going to forget about this. So every week, I get phone calls from people, right? So before I begin the class, I want to give a shout out to the brothers and sisters who have been sharing these videos to their friends and families and coworkers, okay? Because I do get phone calls from the people that you share these videos with. And so I want to give a shout out to you guys. If you've been sharing the videos, shout out to you. You're doing a good thing because you're trying to help somebody else who may need the information that we're giving out. I understand that there are new people that are watching these videos and they may not have seen what we discussed in previous videos. So this is why we have to be repetitive, So I got a phone call from 3 different people. And they asked me to share some information. So before I get into what I wanted to discuss, I'm going to, because I know I'm going to forget this, so which is why I'm talking about it now, because I know later on I'm not going to remember. So before I get into what we're going to discuss today, I want to address what the three people that I spoke to this week, they asked me to mention something on the live. So as a brother from Tennessee asked if I can address something for high blood pressure, okay? So I'm going to share my screen because he's a new person to the channel, and he may not have seen what I discussed regarding blood pressure weeks ago. So I'm going to share my screen and show the brother something that we have available for high blood pressure. So just give me 1 second, guys, while I share my screen. I tell you guys, I try to have solutions to problems. I may not have the solution all the time, but if I do, I'm going to share it. So that's the purpose. All right. So I'm going to the website again, Botanicals. That's the website we're going. And I'm about to show the brother what we have for hypertension, high blood pressure. Okay. So we're on the website here, grassrootbotanicals.com. And we're going to scroll down and show the brother what we have for high blood pressure. And there we go. So I'm going to highlight it. It's right here. There we go. Right here. This is a liquid formula. If it's liquid, it goes directly to the bloodstream. And that's what we want it to do, because you're having issue with high blood pressure. So we want it to go directly to the bloodstream, which makes it work faster. That's the whole purpose. If your blood pressure is it's high, you want something to work quicker. That's why it's a liquid. It's going to get in there and work faster. So here's what we have for high blood pressure. It's called Blood Pressure and Heart Health. There you go. All right. Hopefully the brother is watching. And then we have two more people. So let's see what the other person says. There's another brother from Florida asked me to share something that helps with frequent urination, because he's been going to the restroom a bit more frequent than normal. Now, before I get it, let me make this clear, okay? I am not a medical doctor. So disclaimer here, I'm not a medical doctor. I do not diagnose people. So if you are experiencing symptoms, you need to consult with your doctor to get proper diagnosis, okay? Just want to make that clear. Frequent urination can be a result of a few things. One of them could be a urinary tract infection, okay? It could be an overactive bladder, or it could be a swollen prostate. And that's why I'm telling you that you need a proper diagnosis. I just want to make that clear, all right? Need a proper diagnosis. But I am going to share some things anyway, all right? Give me 1 second. So if the issue is dealing with the prostate, here is something for the prostate that's going to help you with frequent urination. It's called the Prostate and Urinary Herbal Formula, okay? Assuming the issue is with the prostate, all right? There we go. Again, we're at the website Grassroot Botanicals. That's where we are, okay? There we go. Now, if the issue is a urinary tract infection, this is what you need. You need to do the parasite cleanse, because you're dealing with an infection, okay? And when you are dealing with an infection, you need to do a parasite cleanse, all right? Again, I don't know which one of the issues you have or why you're urinated often. So I'm giving you the different option here so that when you get your diagnosis, you can make your choices, okay? So here, if the issue is a urinary tract infection, this is what you need, brother, okay? There you go. Now, what was the if the other issue is with the bladder, okay, here we have something kidney and bladder herbal formula. This will help. There you go. But again, I'm suggesting you get a proper diagnosis from your doctor first before you address any of those issues. All right, because we want to make sure which one of those issues you're dealing with. Okie dokie. I think there was another brother. Okay, so there was a brother from Michigan who wanted me to discuss something for overactive thyroid. Okay, so the first thing, let me just address the brother. The first thing you need to do, my brother, is a cleanse, a flush, a purge of the system. Okay, and if your thyroid is overactive, you need to stay away from sea moss or iodine, anything that's high in iodine, okay? Because if you're dealing with overactive thyroid, having anything with a lot of iodine is going to make the condition worse, okay? So you need to take some calcium, you need zinc, and you need B vitamins like B complex, all the B's, the B1, B2, B6, B12, and so on and so forth. Okay. And I just want to say this: if you are dealing with, for anybody who's dealing with underactive thyroid, okay, you should also do a cleanse, and you should consume the sea moss. That's when you should consume the sea moss. If the thyroid is underactive, you need to take natural sea moss, not that fake Chinese moss. Okay, not the fake one, real sea moss, because the iodine in sea moss will improve your underactive thyroid. And you should also take do a liver cleanse or take something to support liver health. And you also need zinc as well. And I'm going to show the brother who asked for something for overactive thyroid. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we could find it. So here we go. Here's what we have for overactive thyroid. Again, we're on the website Grassroot Botanicals. And here's what we have for overactive thyroid. Hopefully the brother is watching, okay? And here, right beside it, we have something for underactive thyroid here, okay? Underactive thyroid. And like I mentioned, sea moss is going to help you if your thyroid is underactive, okay? Here's natural real sea moss from Jamaica, all right? This is not the Chinese stuff, okay? This has a lot of iodine and it will help to regulate your thyroid glands, all right? I just wanted to say that. And we have something here for the liver. There we go. And to clean up the liver. And one of these days, we're going to talk about, maybe one of these Sunday class, we're going to go into the thyroid and all of that stuff. And but that's not the topic today. I'm only showing these things because our brothers, we have people that are asking for help. And so that's why we're showing it today. All right. So there you go. Clean up the liver if you're having issues with the thyroid glands. Okay. All right, let's move on. Again, website grassrootbotanicals.com. That's the website you go to. Okay. And I wanted to throw this out there too. You don't pay for shipping. Everything is as is. Whatever you pay when you check out, that's what you're paying for both the item and shipping. Okay. All right. Current slide. There we go. Okay, good. So, I was not aware that so many of our Black celebrities was dying of pancreatic cancer. So I managed to gather a list here, a very short list, because there were so many, of some of our brothers and sisters who died from pancreatic cancer, from athletes to musicians to actors. I don't know some of these people, many of them I don't know, but they all died from pancreatic cancer. Julius Carey, I don't know who that is. Steve James, Aretha Franklin, D'Angelo Jones, Count Basie, Dizzy Giuseppe, Edwin Hawkins, Gene Upshaw, Harvey Marvin, Willie White, Lorraine Hansberry, James Moody, Vivian Thomas. A lot of these people from years ago. All right, these are not current. You know, they died years ago. But I was a bit shocked that again our brother passed away from pancreatic cancer. That's cancer of the pancreas. Okay. After a prolonged battle with cancer, he had been hospitalized for months, was placed in hospice 2 weeks prior to his death. He was in hospice. There are no reports on when he was diagnosed with cancer or how long he was battling the illness. He was only 51 years old. It's terrible. And I wanted to show you guys some more celebrities that you might recognize who died of pancreatic cancer. So we have our sister Aretha Franklin. We have Patrick Swayze. Some of you guys may know who he is. We have the Alex Trebek, the host of Jeopardy. We have Steve Jobs. That's the man who brought you your iPhone, right? Or the co-founder. They all died of pancreatic cancer. And here are other Black celebrity who died of cancer or some other complications. So we have our brother Chadwick Boseman. He died from colon cancer. Barry White, kidney failure caused by years of high blood pressure. You know, before I go on, let me say this, right? I want to warn anyone that is watching right now who's dealing with hypertension, which is high blood pressure. Okay. If your doctors, whoever medical professional you've been seeing, if they haven't told you that long term, I want you to listen to the sound of my voice. If they did not tell you that long term high blood pressure leads to kidney failure, they are doing you an injustice, because long-term high blood pressure, when I say long-term, I mean if you've been dealing with high blood pressure for a long time, for years, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 years, you've been had high blood pressure, you're on medication for high blood pressure, you need to go check your kidney numbers. Because if the high blood pressure don't give you kidney failure, the medication that you're taking for high blood pressure is going to give you kidney failure. Okay? I just want to put that out there for anybody who's been battling high blood pressure. You don't have to, by the way. Okay? There are few different causes of high blood pressure, but you don't have to have high blood pressure. You can take care of it. I just wanted to throw that out there. Colin Powell died of blood cancer. You know, I don't know if he was a brother or not. I think he was Jamaican, whatever. Sister Della Reese, she passed away of type 2 diabetes complications. Very sad. Okay. According to the American Cancer Society, smoking smoking, whether it's cigarettes, tobacco, or ganja, aka marijuana. Okay. Smoking, chronic inflammation in the gut, unhealthy diet, diabetes, excess body weight, constant exposure to chemicals increase your chances of getting pancreatic cancer and other cancers. A diet containing processed meats such as sausages, hot dogs, bacons, hamburgers, fatty foods, processed sugary drinks, processed foods, and junk foods increase your risk of all cancers, including pancreatic cancer. These are not my words. These are from the American Cancer Society. Okay, I've been beating the drum on this for years, but now you're hearing it from somebody else. Ulcer. If you're dealing with ulcer, and that ulcer is caused by the infection H. pylori, I believe I discussed this last week, right? I believe I did. If the ulcer is caused by the infection H. pylori, this will increase the risk of stomach cancer, including pancreatic cancer. Okay. Now let's just talk about for a little bit, what are the functions of the pancreas? The pancreas produce enzymes. These enzymes break down your foods. They break down the carbohydrates that you're eating. They break down the fats that you're consuming. They break down the protein so that your body can properly absorb your foods. The pancreas produces insulin. Insulin is a hormone that regulates blood sugar levels. Okay? It's that same organ that determines whether or not you have diabetes. The pancreas also produces glucagon, a hormone that increases blood sugar levels. The pancreas produces other hormones which helps to regulate your appetites, digestion, and metabolism. So your pancreas plays a major role in how your body functions on a daily basis. If your pancreas is not healthy, it's going to disrupt the normal functioning of your digestive system. I just want you guys to understand that. This is why cleansing and detoxing is important. I have been beating you guys over the head with this for years. Cleanse the system. Okay. What is the difference between regular inflammation and chronic inflammation? So, what they call regular inflammation, what you call acute inflammation, right? So acute inflammation is short-term natural immune response to injury or infection. So, if you get in a car accident, right? You get into a car accident, somebody hits you from behind, and you start to feel pain in the back of your neck or wherever, right? That area becomes inflamed, and that's why you're feeling the pain. That's what you call acute inflammation, right? It's a natural response to injury. Okay, there you go. Now, chronic inflammation is long-term, persistent immune response that can damage healthy tissues and organs. This is the type of inflammation that is caused by terrible diet and other things, which we're going to discuss today. Okay? This long-term inflammation is coming from something that is affecting your gut, something that is going into your gut. It could be smoking. It could be excessive alcohol consumption. It could be a combination of sweet, sugary processed drink, processed meat, processed food, and junk food. These things sit in your stomach and they cause chronic inflammation and they damage the cells in your body. That is what chronic inflammation is. A lot of our people are dealing with it. Now, how do I reduce the risk of getting cancer? Well, I'm going to answer that question right now. You reduce the risk of, well, there's several ways. There's several ways of reducing the risk of getting cancer. But one of the things I wanted to bring to you guys' attention today, for those of you who are watching, if you're here watching this, I'm assuming you care about your health. That's why you're here. That's just my assumption. Okay. So one of the ways to reduce your risk of getting cancer is by doing and also by reducing the risk. Sometimes you get these bad cancer that they just metastasize immediately. The moment you find out you have the cancer, next week they're telling you it's spreading like wildfire, right? Okay, let me show you guys something. You want to do a cancer prevention detoxification to create a hostile environment for cancer. I'm going to share my screen again. And we're back at this website here called Grassroot Botanicals. That's where we are again. I tell you guys, whenever I'm here, I'm bringing you solutions. Right here. We have a cancer prevention and detoxification protocol. Okay. Let's click on it and see what happens. Let me see. Hang on, guys. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. So let's read it together. The Cancer Prevention and Detoxification Protocol is designed to support the body's natural defense and cleansing system, helping to reduce the risk of disease and promote overall vitality by combining nutrient-rich foods, antioxidant, herbs, natural hydration, and lifestyle practices such as exercise and stress reduction. This type of protocol helps the body to eliminate toxins that can damage the cells and weaken the immune system. Detoxification support liver and kidney functions, two key organs responsible for filtering harmful substances. Okay, so this is a complete detoxification program that you can do to reduce, and you don't have to just do this once. You can come here and once you purchase this protocol, you'll have it for the rest of life because you get the full information. It's a full the full instruction is what I meant to say. The full instruction on how to do this protocol from day one all the way to the end. It'll tell you what you're supposed to be eating, how you're supposed to prepare your foods, what type of herbs you'll be getting herbs to take, everything you need to detox the system. That's what comes with this right here. You're going to, it's going to tell you what you need to purchase and what you should be cooking and eating on a daily basis. All right. And it comes with herbs to help detox and clean the system out. Helps to detox the liver, the kidneys, all the stuff that's going on with you. So this protocol is about. It's a cancer prevention and detoxification program. Now, if someone had cancer, they can do this program. If they were diagnosed and treated for cancer, this is one of the best programs for them. If you were diagnosed with cancer, right? And if you're going through your chemo and whatever you're going through right now, you might want to, proceed with caution because you're on medication. Okay. Now, you don't have to be sick to do this, because I'll be doing this in a couple of weeks, by the way, just so you guys know. If some of you guys want to join me, let me know. I'll be doing this in a few weeks. All right. These are stuff that I do privately on my own. And I'm encouraging brothers and sisters to do the same. This program is not just for women, or it's not just for men. It's for everyone. Okay. So there you go. That's something to help you on your journey to health and wellness. There you go. To help you to reduce the risk of getting cancer. All right. How does processed sugar cause cancer? We're going to go down the list, guys. How does processed sugar cause cancer? Overconsumption of sugar, especially processed refined sugar, contributes to candida, bacteria, and inflammation in the gut. Chronic inflammation damages DNA and helps to create an environment that encourages the growth of tumors in your body. Overgrowth of harmful bacteria and candida can cause damage to the cells, which leads to cancer. Okay.
So we love our sugar, but be warned, sugar does have some relationships with cancer. What happens when you eat a lot of sugar over time is that your body produces more insulin. And when you keep producing more insulin than you need over many years, you become insulin resistant and your body produces more insulin. And insulin is actually tied to promoting tumor growth in the body. So the more diabetic you are, if you're pre-diabetic or if you're insulin resistant, that could lead to exacerbating an underlying cancer condition. If you eat a lot of sugar, you're also going to be causing an inflammatory response in your body, and inflammation is also linked to cancer. And there are different types of sugars to be aware of. The sugar that we consume from most fruit has a much different effect on the body and on our insulin levels than refined sugar like white sugar, even maple syrup, agave, brown rice syrup. All of the refined carbohydrates from those refined sugars do spike our insulin levels faster than sugar that comes from fruit, which also comes with fiber, which slows the absorption and doesn't cause your insulin to spike as high. In native cultures around the world, when a Western diet is introduced and people start moving away from their traditional way of eating, which is an unprocessed, low-sugar diet, we see a huge skyrocketing in cancer rates.
Hold on. Did y'all hear what she just said? She said, when you start getting involved with Western diet, I hope y'all are listening to this white woman here. Okay, let me let her cook. Go ahead, white woman. Hold on. You go ahead, girl.
Reduced, and people start moving away from their traditional way of eating, which is an unprocessed, low-sugar diet, we see a huge skyrocketing in cancer rates. So it's been shown over and over again that introducing a Western-style, high-sugar diet does lead to cancer.
Okay, all right. Okay. How unhealthy foods leads to cancer. I tell you, we're going to slow walk this today, okay? Unhealthy diets that are high in refined sugar, processed food, and meat. Unhealthy fats contributes to cancer by creating internal conditions that damage the cell, promote inflammation, and disrupt normal metabolism. High sugar diet cause chronic spikes in blood glucose and insulin levels. This leads to insulin resistance, like she just said, which eventually can lead to several types of cancer. Inflammation releases unstable molecules that damage your DNA, protein, and cell membrane. This is how the body functions when it's, things are happening. Okay. This science. This DNA damage increase the risk of mutations that turns normal cells into cancerous cells. It's a process now. But while you are walking around every day, guys, these are the things that are taking place in your body while you are enjoying all of your junk, fast food, and unhealthy processed food, especially if you're not cleansing and flushing and purging the gut, right? And keeping your body healthy.
Today, a national panel of experts said that eating processed meats, such as cold cuts and bacon, increases the risk of colon cancer, and eating red meat likely does the same. After today's report by the World Health Organization, everyone seemed to be asking how great is that risk. So we asked Dr. John LaPook.
The WHO committee has placed processed meat like hot dogs and ham in the same cancer risk category as tobacco. But the amount of increased risk is nowhere near the same. Lifetime risk of getting colon cancer is 5%. Eating the equivalent of one hot dog a day raises that to about 6%. By comparison, one study found the lifetime risk of lung cancer is 1.3% in male non-smokers and about 17% in smokers. The evidence was strongest for a cancer link with processed meat. The International Panel of Experts said the cancer link for red meat, like steak and pork, is weaker, but that red meat probably also causes cancer, mainly colon, but possibly also pancreatic and prostate. The committee described a number of possible mechanisms. Dr. Mariana Stern of USC served on the panel.
Processed meat are treated with different chemicals in order to preserve the meat. Some of those chemicals are nitrates, and those nitrates can react in the body and form carcinogens.
Charlene McNeil is a registered dietitian with the National Cattlemen's Beef Association.
What we see with reports like this is they often confuse us. It's easy to build a healthy diet with foods like beef, and this report that should change that.
So, John, when we're talking about red meat, what falls in that category?
So red meat is mammalian muscle, comes from there. We're talking about beef and veal and lamb and, yes, pork.
Pork is red meat.
Yes.
Why is it being placed in the same category as tobacco?
This has led so much confusion today. So being in that highest risk category means you have a substance and there's good, strong evidence that it can cause cancer. It says absolutely nothing about the degree to which it increases that.
Okay, let me say this, right? What they're not, these people, they'll tell you a little bit of what's going on, but they won't really tell you the whole truth. They won't, they know what they're doing. As the lady said, a lot of these processed meat have a lot of chemicals in it. This is what they're not, they're not coming straight out and tell the public. They have to tell the truth, but they can't tell the whole truth. Okay. A lot of these meats are cured with chemicals, and that's the bottom line. All that other mumbo jumbo, they say, oh, it's how much cancer you can get and blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is the meat industry is filled with chemicals. That's just what it is.
Today, an international.
Okay. Oh boy. We are treading on very sticky territory here with this one. The last time I addressed this particular topic in our health group on Facebook, boy, I got cursed out by Benjamin, boy. Benjamin was very upset. Okay, how smoking cause cancer? Smoking cigarette, tobacco, or marijuana increase your risk of getting cancer. Okay, don't be mad at me. Go talk to the scientist. While many people assume that marijuana is safer than tobacco, Smoking marijuana exposes the body to many of the same cancer-related risks. When marijuana is burned and inhaled, which is pretty much what you're doing when you smoke, you're burning whatever it is you're smoking and you're inhaling the smoke, right? When you do that, it produces many of the same toxins and carcinogens found in tobacco smoke. I don't understand why people don't understand, like when you're burning something, it's releasing toxic carcinogens, like you're putting fire to it and burning it. Okay. These chemicals can damage DNA, irritate tissues, and cause mutations that set the stage for cancer formation. In fact, gram for gram, marijuana smoke may contain more tar and carcinogen compound than tobacco smoke. Marijuana users tend to inhale more deeply and hold the smoke longer in their lung. I've seen it. This increases the contact time between the carcinogen and the lung tissue, increasing damage to the cells and can cause cancer to develop. If you missed that, go back when we're done with the live. Read it again. Okay. What are people really smoking in America? What is our people smoking when they smoke ganja and everything else? Okay, so when I was growing up in the Caribbean, right, we have the real marijuana. And that's what I grew up with, right? The marijuana that I remember when I was a kid, it was growing wild on our property. We didn't have to plant it. We didn't have to cultivate it. It was just there because it has seeds. And it was just growing. It was just there. I remember as a kid, I would go into the bushes and it was just there, just growing in the bushes. None of us, I don't know anybody in my family who I've ever seen smoking it, okay? We usually use it to make herbal teas. That's what I grew up seeing. My uncle, my grandfather, and sometimes my mom and my cousin, and even myself. We all drink tea. That's how we uses it, right? Or we make some tinctures out of it, which is still a liquid formula, right? Now, fast forward to today, and you have different strains of these fake plants that are crossbred and cultivated to produce strains with much higher concentration of psychoactive compounds like THC, so that people can get high. Because that is the goal, isn't it? To get high. That's why people smoke ganja, to get high. Then you have the synthetic marijuana, such as Spice or K2. These things are not marijuana at all, just so you guys know. These are man-made chemical products that mimics the effect of THC, and they spray stuff on these plant material. They spray chemicals, which can be very dangerous. These chemicals being sprayed on these fake plants cause all type of illnesses, including tumors in the body. I wish somebody would show me one marijuana plant here growing in the US that's actually real. I have yet to see it.
Take a look at these two sets of lungs. This set is healthy. They represent the lungs of a healthy person. This set doesn't look so great. They represent the lungs of someone who has smoked a pack of cigarettes, that's 20 cigarettes, every day for 20 years. Let's take a closer look at what's happening in the healthy lungs. They're being inflated with air, just like when we breathe. As they fill up with air, both lungs expand like they should and push oxygen into your bloodstream. We need oxygen for our body to work. When we breathe, air passes through our nose or mouth into our trachea or windpipe. In the trachea, air passes cilia. Those are tiny hairs that keep dirt and mucus out of the lungs. From the trachea, air passes into two large tubes. Each tube splits off into many smaller tubes. End of these smaller tubes is a cluster of tiny air sacs. There are over 600 million air sacs in our lungs. Imagine how small they must be. Each air sac is covered in small blood vessels that take the blood directly to your heart. The oxygenated blood goes directly to your heart, and your heart pumps it to all the cells in your body. Now, back to the smoker's lungs. These represent the lungs of someone who smoked for 20 years. These lungs are...
Now, I really have to stop it now, seriously. By the way, these are real lungs showing you guys, okay? And the reason she's moving like that is because she's using one of her foot to pump the air. That's why you see these lungs moving, because she's using her foot to pump the air into these lungs, okay? But can you imagine? Just look at this. This is all cancerous. Anyway, let's continue.
Blackish color because of the tar that comes from it. Tar is a sticky black substance that is created when some chemicals burn and melt together. The tar created by burning tobacco is similar to the tar that is used on roads. Tar in your lungs may lead to lung problems that can make it hard to breathe. Even though vaping doesn't force tar into your lungs, it does cause your lungs to get inflamed and clogged with blood, pus, and other fluids. The chemicals in cigarettes also cause lung cancer. If you look here, lung cancers have started to form. They start in the cells that line the surface of the lungs, like this white area. The lower portion of this lung doesn't inflate. That is what lung diseases like COPD and emphysema look like. People with these diseases find it hard to breathe, and they struggle with even the smallest, easiest activities like walking. Which set of lungs would you like working for you? The choice seems pretty clear.
Okay. You know what? Before I move on, me 1 second, guys. Before I move on, I want to share something with you guys quickly. Me 1 second. Let's go back to this website, Grasser Botanicals, because she mentioned something. She mentioned COPD. So we're on the website, Grasser Botanicals again, right? And I'm going to show you guys something real quick. Hopefully I'm able to click on this. Sometimes this is acting up. Okay, there we go. All right. So I'm going to the section that says health programs, and I'm scrolling down, and I want to show you guys something. If any of you that are watching is dealing with COPD, you want to come here and download this right here. So what it says here, COPD lung cleanse. Okay. COPD lung cleanse. Hopefully you'll be able to see it right here. Come here, download it. It's only $5 to download. Okay. You're going to follow the instruction and prepare this drink, and you drink it every day until your condition improve. All right. For those of you who are dealing with COPD, or if you have anyone in your family or friends or co-worker or anybody that's dealing with COPD. All right. This is a lung cleanse for COPD. Okay. This is not an actual product. This is the instruction. You're going to download it and you're going to follow the instruction here. All right. There we go. All right. Let's get back to it. Okie dokie.
Famously, marijuana has been legal here in Colorado for quite some time now, but that doesn't mean it comes without health risks. There's a new study that found that smoking marijuana can cause lung damage. And joining us today, Dr. Paul Coley, to talk about potential side effects. I get the feeling smoking anything Probably
not the best idea. So true. I mean, you're pushing those toxins and carcinogens into your lungs. But this was a little bit surprising because it was CT scans of marijuana smokers, tobacco smokers, and non-smokers. So of course we would expect marijuana smokers maybe have more lung damage or emphysema than non-smokers. But what was surprising was that they had actually substantially more lung damage even compared to cigarette smokers. And so it seems like marijuana smoke exposure somehow triggers lung damage earlier, and you may need less of it in order to have that damage.
Imagine that's about what you're smoking. There are reasons that what you're smoking does or doesn't stick around.
Yes, and so it doesn't necessarily even have to be the, even the best kind of marijuana that you're smoking, the purest kind could cause lung damage. And we're seeing not just the damage in the lungs, more inflammation.
Because you're not supposed to be smoking the herb. It's that simple. The herb was not meant to be smoked.
We're seeing thickening of the bronchi. And this isn't even, we don't even know yet how this translates into cancer risk. We also know that marijuana, as it gets into your bloodstream, can of course get into the brain. That's how it gives you that high, but that can even cause risk for mental conditions like psychosis later in life.
Okay, now I have another question. I sort of hogged.
No, you go hogging.
So what about, does this include vaping? Because that seems like that is how more people are now ingesting smoke products.
Yes, and in a weird way, vaping in a way can even be worse because sometimes what it's dissolved into the vehicle that carries it in can be full of toxins, can be full of unfiltered particles that are causing that lung inflammation. And also what's really interesting about marijuana, we smoke it differently than we smoke cigarettes. So cigarettes you inhale and you exhale. With vaping or marijuana you inhale, you hold your breath a second, and what that does is it actually opens up more lung tissue to expose to those toxins, and then you exhale. And so it can even cause popping of the lungs or tearing of the lungs, essentially. We're seeing people coming in with torn lungs and air around their lungs from this.
Gosh, we're of that generation. Remember the first ads coming out about the dangers of smoking cigarettes?
Yeah.
Oh, and maybe we're going to be seeing this.
All right. There, you guys got the picture.
Famously, marijuana.
You guys got the picture. There's been so many arguments in our community about why we should or shouldn't smoke marijuana. This is one of the biggest debate and confusion in the community. You're not supposed to be inhaling smoke in your lung. That's what you do when you smoke marijuana. You're inhaling smoke. What do you think happened to your body when you're inhaling smoke in your lung? No matter what type of smoke you're inhaling, there's smoke getting into the lung. That's it. That's not healthy for you. Anyway, how chemicals cause cancer. Toxic chemicals cause cancer by damaging DNA, leading to genetic mutation that disrupt normal cell growth and cause cells to multiply uncontrollably. These carcinogens can also interfere with a cell's ability to repair itself or act as a promoter that encourage existing mutated cells to grow into cancerous tumor. Over time, these genetic changes accumulate. A product can take years to develop into cancer. All right, let's move on. And when we talk about chemicals, we're talking about, just think about any, the relaxer that a women are putting in their hair, you know what I mean? Chemical, just if you work at a chemical factory, right? There's all those dangerous chemical or, just the regular chemicals that we have in our house, paint thinner and all this other stuff, just be careful. Okay, how drugs cause cancer. Drugs can cause cancer, and we're talking about all drugs, really, all of them. Drugs cause cancer by introducing, again, carcinogenic substances, inducing oxidative stress, damaging organs through toxicity, or increasing the risk of infections that leads to cancer. Prescription drugs can be contaminated with cancer-causing chemicals during manufacturing or packaging. Some prescription drugs may also develop carcinogenic properties as they age, which cause cancer. I didn't make this up, guys. Okay, I didn't make this up. This is scientific research that I found. Okay, these are not my own words. Okay. Now, how parasites cause cancer? Because what I'm trying to show you guys here, that cancer comes from different things. Okay, it's not some mysterious illness that just falls out of the sky. There are different things that can cause cancer in the human body. Parasites damage tissues. They suppress the immune system and promote inflammation, which creates an environment for cancer to develop. Now, what we're looking here at the on the left of your screen here, I'm going to tell you what that is. Schistosoma is a genus of parasite or parasitic worms that cause schistosomiasis. I hope I'm saying that right. In humans and other mammals. Schistosomiasis is a parasitic infection caused by flatworm, okay, or what they call fluke worm, flatworm, same thing, that can cause acute and chronic disease, including cancer. They penetrate the skin of the host, which is you, or your cat, or your dogs, and after passing through the lung, they migrate to the venule of the pelvis, where they mature and lay eggs. The lifespan of an adult flatworms is about 3 to 5 years, but they can live up to 40 years in the host. Flatworms cause infections, inflammations, fibrosis, malignant tumors, and bladder cancers. Okay, and this is just one of many parasites, by the way, okay? A little bit of warning before I play this video. A little bit of warning, guys. So this video was posted to YouTube on December 10th, 2009. So this is over a decade ago. This is an old video. This is way before, you know, the influx of AI, okay? And actually this video was created September of 2005. So this is a very old video that's been on YouTube, okay? And so this is a 60-year-old woman who went into an outpatient clinic, okay? Because she had abdominal discomfort that she's been feeling for several weeks, okay? So she went in for colonoscopy. So I'm going to play the video. Okay. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second, guys. I think that we're having a little bit of issue with the video. Give me one second. Hold on. All right, guys, I'm sorry about that. So sorry about that. All right, let's continue. Yeah, so this video does not have any sound, guys, okay? There's no sound in this video. It's a silent video. I show you in this video there's a parasite. As you can see, I'm gonna play it again. And just so you guys know, this video was posted to YouTube by a medical office, okay? They posted this to YouTube. So what you're looking at here is a roundworm. That's what it's called. It's about 8 inches. And they had to remove it from the woman because they discovered that inside of her and her colon while she was doing a colonoscopy, okay? All right, just wanted to show that. Here.
Doctors are investigating a medical mystery in Australia after a worm was removed from a woman's brain. The details may make you a bit queasy. The 64-year-old was admitted to Canberra Hospital in 2021 with abdominal pain, fever, and coughing. A year later, she had memory loss and depression. A neurosurgeon performed a biopsy through a hole in her skull, and a parasite that was there was about 3 inches long. It was removed. It was the larva from an Australian native roundworm that isn't commonly a human parasite.
In my normal life, if I was in the garden, if I saw a worm, I'd be screaming and screeching like the rest of us. But in theatre, we normally are very controlled, and it's certainly not what we expect. But we took that time to sort of take stock, not squish the worm, so the scientists were able to identify exactly what it was.
Well, that surgeon says that she is still...
You know what I got to ask? I'm sorry. Are you guys able to hear me? Are you guys able to hear me? You put one in the chat if you guys are able to hear me. Guys, put one in the chat if you're... Okay, good. All right. Gotcha. Okay, so
traumatized by finding that unusual thing in the woman's brain. The patient was treated and released from the hospital, and doctors are keeping in close contact with her.
The surgeon was traumatized. You think they've seen everything. Then
doctors are investigating.
You know what the worst thing about this is? It's the fact that a lot of people think that parasite is some mystical creature and they don't exist, or a lot of people don't believe these things happen. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just don't know why. There are parasites in the human body. It's a fact. I mean, you can go to YouTube and you see doctors, medical offices that post these videos. They ask, obviously they ask the permission and they have to sign a waiver from the patients, but they post these videos to educate the public. The human bodies have parasites because a lot of people, and I'll tell you what, you live on you have your dog. It's just, if you're living certain lifestyle, you're visiting certain countries, you're just jumping in rivers that you have no business jumping in, right? Dirty water and just a bunch of stuff that people are doing that they have no business doing, and they're getting these parasites in the body. Kissing the dogs, right? Sleeping, having the dog in your couch, on your bed, your cats, all over your furnitures, and there's parasites in your pets. Hate to, but yes. All right. I'm showing you these videos because I want you to understand that parasites are not some fictional, mysterious alien that only exists in cartoons, okay? These are living creatures that lives in animal and the human body. When you are feasting on lots of sugar, cakes, and cookies, and all the other processed junk food, what I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you have parasites or bacteria in your body, you are essentially feeding these parasites and bacteria, and you are causing them to multiply and grow and create a very hostile environment in your body for cancer and other diseases to form. If you're living this type of lifestyle your entire life without ever cleansing the gut and flushing and purging and detoxing your body, it's hard to come back from an illness like cancer. If you've just been living like that and you've never done any type of purging of the system, that type of lifestyle will damage the cells and the DNA. It's hard to recover from cancer. You know, you go to the hospital and they're diagnosing you with stage 3, stage 4 cancer. That's a battle. That's a battle. How excessive alcohol consumption leads to cancer. How excessive alcohol consumption leads to cancer. Excessive alcohol consumption is a well-established risk factor for several types of cancer. Alcohol is a metabolized carcinogen in the body. This carcinogen can damage DNA and increase the risk of cancers such as mouth, throat, esophagus, pancreas, liver cancer, and all the other cancer, really. Okay? Long-term, excessive alcohol consumption generates reactive oxygen species which damage cells and leads to oxidative stress. This contributes to the development of cancer, including breast, colon, and rectal cancer. Alcohol can alter hormone levels, particularly estrogen. This increase in estrogen levels can increase the risk of breast cancer in women. Alcohol consumption can promote inflammation in the body, which is a known risk factor for cancer. Chronic inflammation damages cells and DNA, increasing the likelihood of cancer development. Heavy alcohol consumption can interfere with your body's absorption of essential nutrients such as folate and vitamin C. These particular nutrients plays a role in protecting your body against cancer. So when you consume, an overconsumption of alcohol every day, you're pretty much blocking your body's defense against absorption of essential nutrients, which is ultimately going to protect your body. Surgeon General warns of cancer caused by alcohol consumption. Let's see what the Surgeon General have to say.
Here's another reason to try a dry January. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy released a report claiming that alcohol consumption is the third leading preventable cause of cancer in the United States. He says it's responsible for 100,000 cases of cancer and about 20,000 deaths every year.
Alcohol is really good at breaking down protein, and our whole body's made out of protein. And over time, it causes damage to cells, inflammation. It really not just cancer, it causes more than 200 different diseases in the body, directly or indirectly.
Whether you prefer beer, wine.
In case you guys missed that, he just said alcohol causes over 200 different diseases in the human body. That's what he just said. Okay.
Or spirits, the report says the increased risk of cancer is the same. It also found that alcohol can increase at least 7 types of cancer, including liver, breast, rectal cancer. The Surgeon General was important to release this information because the report also found that only 45% of Americans were aware that alcohol increases their risk of cancer.
When a Surgeon General sends such a message, it can be very important. I'm hoping this will have the same change that we saw with tobacco in 1964.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Mara Montalbano. Here's a...
All right. Now, in terms of the people who have died of pancreatic cancer, that, you know, I showed those people earlier, right? I don't really know anything about these people's personal lives. I don't. But what I found out is that some of them did have certain things in common. For example, there's some sources that was close to D'Angelo that they told People magazine that D'Angelo battled alcoholism and drug abuse. They said he was a heavy drinker and smoker, right? Patrick Swayze was a long-term heavy smoker. Even after he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2008, he continued to smoke. He went through rehab in the 90s because of his heavy drinking, okay? And he also experimented with drugs, including cocaine, all right? Aretha Franklin, they said she was a heavy smoker in her younger years, and she also experimented with some drugs. Alex Trebek was a smoker and a drinker in his early life. Steve Jobs, although he became a vegan when he was older, he abused drugs when he was younger, including the psychedelic hallucinogenic drug known as LSD. All right. Now, I'm not saying any of this has anything to do with their cancer. I'm just sharing some similarities in their lifestyle. That's all I'm doing. Okay. All right. Cyrac 30 and 15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. What is the moral of this story here today? Moral of the story is that there isn't just one thing that causes cancer. There are many different things that contribute to cancer in the human body, as you guys see that I demonstrated today, okay? There are a lot of different things that contribute to cancer. What we ought to do, or what my message today is, we ought to learn to exercise balance in everything that we do. Balance. One of the problems with us as a people is that whenever we discover something, whenever we do something, we tend to do it excessively. There's no balance. We go overboard. You like ice cream? Instead of having a little ice cream every now and then, we eat it for dessert all the time. We like fried chicken. Instead of having a little fried chicken maybe once a month, we pull up at the fried chicken joint every day. We enjoy some cookie or cakes or chips every now and then, right? Instead of baking a little healthy homemade cookie every couple of months, we're taking a trip to BJ's or Costco, and we're buying the oversized bags and the big pound cakes, and we're feasting on these things for a whole entire week. We enjoy a little glass of wine, right? Instead of having a little glass of wine maybe once a week, we're drunk every day, 7 days a week. So there's no balance. And there is no excuse for smoking, by the way. No excuse whatsoever. Let me just say that. We have to exercise balance. There has to be a balance of what we're putting in the body. And there also has to be a balance of cleaning out the system. I think we've come to the end. Hang on. I'm going to share my screen again. Here we have the COPD lung cleanse. For those of you who are having, and you know what? You don't even have to have COPD to do this cleanse, because I do this every now and then, just so y'all know, okay? And I've never smoked a day in my life. I don't have COPD, but every now and then I do this cleanse because I want to keep my lung healthy. There you go. And I cannot stress this enough. Today we're talking about cancer prevention. We have a 30-day cancer prevention and detoxification protocol here. Download it, follow the instruction, and protect yourself from vicious cancer. That's my message for you guys today. Here it is right here on the website called Grassroot Botanicals. And feel free to scroll down and look at all the other stuff they have going on there, okay? A lot of cleansing and everything like that. All right? There we go. Let me know if anyone have a question for me before we go today. Hang on. Going to check the does anybody have a question for me? If you have a question for me, put it in the chat. Oh, and by the way, right, speaking of wine, Sister John Nace is a good quality wine. Just so y'all, y'all can make your own wine, so we don't have all that chemicals that they're putting in there, the preservatives and chemicals, right? Okay, just throw that in there, okay? You make your own wine. I do. I make my own wine, all right? I see nobody have any question for me. So if you don't, I'm going to end the live. What consider seedless? Wait a minute. Somebody asked a question. I'm sorry, hon.
No,
you were saying? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Somebody have a question. Oh, hey, there we go. It was kind of going. Okay. Wait, I missed it. Would consider seedless grape a fruit we shouldn't eat? We should not be eating any seedless fruit at all. The grape that has seed is called globe grape, GLOBE, globe grapes. Those are the grapes with seeds, and those are the only grapes you should be consuming. There's also some other grapes. I don't remember the name of it. Those are the ones that you use for wine. Those also have seeds in them. They're a little bit more tart, slightly sour a little bit. But if you're looking for sweet grape, the globe grape. Anything else you shouldn't be consuming. And I know I've seen Israelites in the truth with a whole bunch of seedless grapes. And I've been scratching my head like, how can you do that? And this, I wish I'm still able to buy seeded grapes every week at the supermarket. And personally, if I can't find them, I'm not eating grape. That's it. It's that simple. If I can't find seeded grapes, I'm just not having grapes. That's just the end of it. That's it. I may have missed it, but is there a sugar detox? The best detox to do, hang on, I'm going to answer Sister Talia. Sister Talia. I'm going to share my screen for Sister Talia. Hang on, Sister Talia. I'm going to share my screen with you here. Here's the best detox to do to detoxify a lot of sugar from the system, honey. So we're at the website again called grassrootbotanicals.com. Grassrootbotanicals.com. And I'm scrolling down, and I'm going to show you right now. This right here. The Parasite Cleanse for Beginners. You do that, is going to get a lot of sugar out of your system. I guarantee it. When you do a parasite cleanse, you're slowly removing all of that excess sugar from your system, and you find that you don't crave sugar as much anymore. After doing this, especially if you do this a couple times a year, you stop craving sugar. So there you go. The Parasite Cleanse. That's going to get a lot of the sugar out your system. Sorry about that. Somebody asked, can depression and stress manifest those? Yes, absolutely. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay. Sister Talia says she can't see it. You can't see? Hold on, sis. Let me see something. I wasn't sharing. I'm sorry. I thought I was sharing. Hold on. Wasn't I sharing? Okay. Hang on. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I was sharing the screen. Let's go back and share it again. Sister Talia said she couldn't see it, so let's share the screen again. Okay. All right, sis. Hopefully you can see it this time, okay? So again, we're on the website Grassroot Botanicals. Here's the website. Okay. That's the website right here, grassrootbotanicals.com. If you go to Google and just type that in, it'll pop right up, okay? That's it. That's the logo you're looking for when you go to Google, okay? And so when you scroll down, you're going to scroll down a bit. And this right here is the Parasite Cleanse you're looking for. You said you want how to get rid of excess sugar from the system. This is one of the best cleanse to help your body remove excess sugar, especially if somebody is battling diabetes type 2 or borderline diabetes. This is one of the best things to get rid of your type 2 diabetes right here, okay? And get your sugar under control. All right, hopefully I'll help with that. Were you able to see it now, sis? Hopefully you did. Somebody, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm just reading your. I'm reading your comments here. Is the act of addiction an actual parasite? It could be. Let me say this, right? A lot of people you see struggling with. I'm sorry, guys. A lot of people that you see struggling with sugar addiction, like junk food addiction, just can't seem to stop eating junk food. They have parasite in the system. And what happened when you have parasite in the system, it's feeding off of, it's literally sucking every nutrients that your body have. Like anything you put in there with a little bit of nutrients, those parasite is sucking up those nutrients. So when you have no nutrients that the body can use to maintain itself, because you have parasites there that are eating up all that nutrients, your body constantly crave the sweets. It's going to constantly crave the sweets because you have them parasites feeding off of you, unfortunately. And that can cause mental illness, just so you know. Parasitic infection can cause mental illness. Somebody says they know somebody that already had cancer. Hopefully, you see, I'm going to share it again. Your name is Tania, Sister Tania. I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm very bad with names. You said, I know somebody that already have cancer. Do you have anything for that? I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully you're able to see what I'm doing here. We're back at the website called Grassroot Botanicals, sis. This is it right here, okay? Let me make sure you guys are seeing the screen here. I don't want to move forward if you're not able to see the screen. You guys seeing the screen? Okay, there we go. All right. There we go. So we're scrolling down, and this right here, 30-day cancer prevention protocol. I know it says prevention, but it doesn't matter. If the person has been diagnosed with cancer, they can do this detoxification protocol. This is one of the best protocol for people who are struggling with cancer, okay? And it doesn't matter what type of cancer you have, or it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. This is a cancer detoxification protocol. That's what this is, okay? All right, sis. There you go. And by the way, you're gonna the person is gonna get a lot of herbs that addresses cancer. These are cancer-related herbs that they'll be getting. All right. Is soursop fruit good for cancer prevention? Absolutely. Absolutely. The fruit, the bark of the plant, and the leaves. You know, when the white man went to the Caribbean and they did their scientific research and testing on the soursop plant, they did the research on the plant, the leaves of the plant, the root, the bark of the plant, and also the fruit of the plant. And they found that the entire plant, including the fruit, including the leaves, and including the bark of the plant, is anti-cancerous. It helps to shrink the tumor and also helps to kill the cells. That was their research. But then they tried to bring the fruit here to the United States, and that didn't work because they realized that it was actually all of that cancer prevention property was actually coming from the soil in the Caribbean. It was the soil that was providing all of that nutrients to the plant. And so when they tried to bring the plant here, it just didn't yield the same results. Okay? Unfortunately. All right. All right, guys. Oh, by the way, I believe there is soursop leaves on this website. Let's see if we have it here. There we go. We have the soursop and black seed bitters. There we go. And the soursop and black seed bitters here. And then we have the soursop leaves here. These leaves are straight from Jamaica. These were shipped directly from Jamaica. And then it also comes in powder form as well. And there's your powder. If you want some tea and just put a tablespoon or a teaspoon in your tea, there you go. You have the soursop leaf powder right there as well. All right. Oh, Sister Talia says she purchased that from there. Okay. Awesome, sis. All right, guys. You guys have any more questions for me? Listen, before I go, man, I really want to thank you guys for tuning in. Really, hit the like button. Let's hit the like button and share the video so you know, our brothers and sisters can see this type of health and wellness class here. And also, again, I want to thank you guys for coming here every week. You know, I really appreciate that. All right. Anything else? If not, I don't know if Priest Daniel anything to say.
That is it. We're gonna end the class. We're gonna end it. So we appreciate everybody being here.
All right.
We'll see you guys again next week, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Next week. All right. Thank you all for being here.
Love you guys.